Your energy is supply for the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So energy, I've talked about this for years in videos. You're made of energy, so am I. So is this lush forest behind me. The narcissist is also made of energy, but what the narcissist needs is they need to control people. They need to control people's minds, their mindset, their energy, their time, their relationships, their purpose, their hopes, dreams, their aspirations, and more. And when the narcissist has control of somebody, they do damage to that person. The narcissist does not improve people's relationships. The narcissist detracts or takes away from people's relationships. The narcissist doesn't want to build with people. They want to future fake people. The narcissist doesn't want to be transparent because they can't be. They want to let people think that they are on the same page as those people. And once the narcissist gets somebody placed in that trauma bond, that narcissistic fog, the devaluation stage, or anything similar to getting too close to the narcissist, that's when the narcissist begins to really remove the mask. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. That's why each and every one of these relationships, they all deteriorate, they all have an expiration date, and they're all headed to Destructionsville. They're heading nowhere. And now you didn't know these things because you weren't taught this in school. Of course, I didn't know these things either. Now we know them and we're learning them. Now we understand why no contact is so important. There's a reason I share that in virtually every video I create. Go no contact, block that person, delete them, remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them, if not now, when. Now, I coined that expression years ago, and other YouTubers are beginning to copy that, which is good if they actually care about helping people out. If they're in it to earn a dollar, or if they're faking like they're helping people, they should have no business at all having a channel. But having said that, you, the person who's consuming the content, you need to be very careful with who you trust. You need to understand that the narcissist is everywhere. And if they can catch a whiff or a scent that a person is vulnerable, is naive, is too trusting, or is new in the area, then they will strike. Think about it. Picture a snake in the middle of the jungle or in the middle of the forest here. There are plenty of snakes around here, I'm sure. Well, what do? They wait and they lie. And then when something gets too close to it, they strike. That's what the snake does. Well, there's your narcissist right there. And remember, the narcissist sheds their relationships just like the snake sheds its skin. And once the snake sheds its skin, it usually does what? You're getting it. Then the snake slithers off into the abyss, into the darkness. That's the exact same thing that the narcissist does. So while your energy is supply for the narcissist, it's everything that you did for them when you were with them. You didn't realize it, but you were boosting up their fragile ego. You were turning a blind eye. You were not trusting your instincts or your intuition. You were ignoring red flags. You never saw a green flag. You were holding on to something. You were holding your breath, waiting for the narcissist to change, or hoping they would be in a good mood for 20 minutes, and maybe you could roll that into an hour, or maybe they would be in a good mood once every 4 years, mainly on leap year, and then you would be like, oh my gosh, they're in a good mood. I need to take advantage of this. I need to make sure we have a great time. Well, you didn't know back then what you know now, that they're in a great mood because they got supply or maybe even intimacy. I don't know what they got, money, time, something from somebody else, but it wasn't from you. But in that case, using that micro example, because you were the built-in supply source being peppered with abuse day in and day out, you were reaping the benefits of another person. See how it works? The narcissist is loyal to nobody. They care about nobody. They look at people as appliances. They look at people as opportunities. They look at people as weak and pathetic and naive and too trusting. There is a reason why the narcissist looks and searches for the true empath. The reason why is because people like the true empath, and you're looking at one right here, we are not only rare, and no, this isn't me pumping myself up, and no, I'm not the narcissist. I'm being matter of factual. Many people didn't even know what empathy was when I started my channel 5 years ago. Many people are now talking about empathy because it is clicking, it's ringing, ding, ding, ding. But the narcissist searches for empaths or empathy, high levels of empathy, because they can do the most damage to those people. Think about it. Think about a scale of humanity. This is just an illustration for this part of the video. On the scale, you have a 0 all the way up to 100. Well, 0 is one type of human being, whatever you want to call them, and 100 is a whole different type of human being, whatever you want to call them. Well, on one of those ends of the scale is the true empath. Let's just say 100%. Well, the narcissist doesn't find those kind of people that often, because the narcissist is the polar opposite at the 0 end of the scale, because the narcissist is filled with anxiety. They're riddled with hollowness. They're shallow, they're bullies, they're cowards, and they know it. So if they find an element of a person at the 100 percentile mark, which is the true empath for this illustration, they're going to do whatever they can do to latch onto that person and try to take them down for the count. Think about what I'm sharing. Those of you who were born in the United States or know what the United States celebration of Thanksgiving is, you know what that is. It's a very big holiday. Some people claim it's the biggest holiday of their calendar year. And I don't blame them, I get it. Holidays are important for humanity. But when you are at Thanksgiving, what do you usually do? You usually eat a little too much turkey, stuffing, bread, I don't know, whatever else, cranberries and mashed potatoes, etc. What do you do? And then you have to kind of take a nap because the tryptophan and all these things. Well, that's why I use that example. Think about the narcissist gloating, eating as much as they can with gluttony, I should say, with supply. But it's not just on Thanksgiving, one day a year. It's 365 when they encounter an empath. I know you're getting this. Play this video, play it multiple times. Stay on the path, maintain your boundaries, maintain no contact, and understand that you are becoming awakened and aware, educated, and empowered. And you're different than you were 6 minutes and 35 seconds ago. You're changing, you're elevating, you're ascending, you're growing. And that's why your energy was the supply for the narcissist. Think about very simple terms. When you would give the narcissist a ride somewhere, maybe you pick them up from work or give them a ride to work. Maybe you picked them up from the airport or drove them to the airport. Maybe you went to the store 4 times in a day looking for that specific type of peanut butter, even though that peanut butter doesn't exist anymore and the narcissist knew it, but they just wanted you to continue to come and go and get burned out. Whatever you were doing when you were in that relationship, you were giving to a fault and you were doing what they wanted you to do. Picture, if you will, a puppet master. Puppet master has the strings, does this. Well, that's what the narcissist was doing with you. They were controlling you. You didn't know it. Now you do. Once you understand what toxicity is, once you understand what narcissism is, once you understand what a real empath is, and once you understand what happened to you, you need to get as far away from this person as fast as you possibly can, because this person doesn't change. They won't change. They can't change. They are a sinking ship, only going to continue to sink lower and lower in that low vibrational quagmire state, and they will take you down with them, and they will laugh at you, mock you, smirk at you, sneer at you, blame you, and sit there and say, yep, you got too close again, didn't you? That's why you can't tempt fate. That's why you have to maintain your boundaries and maintain no contact. And that's why you need to understand what supply is to the narcissist. Now, again, I've shared this for years. Supply to me is like paper towels, or maybe a pair of sneakers, or shoelaces, or a couple of pieces of fruit that you need to eat, whatever. Do you have enough fruit, veggies today, that kind of thing. Well, that's what the narcissist needs also, but they also need attention. They need adoration. They need someone to change their diapers. They need someone to do things for them. They need someone to steer them, to direct them. They need someone to hide things from. They need someone to abuse, manipulate, to give the silent treatment to smear. They need someone to throw verbal rage fits on. They need someone to be the punching bag. They need someone to be the walking apology, the sounding board, the cook, the cleaner, the regulator, and on and on and on. Now, all of these things I'm mentioning, I've shared a lot of them in videos over the years. They all encompass one thing. This is the relationship you need to heal from, and this is the relationship you need to get as far away from that person as fast as you can. If you can't do it today, I understand that, but you need to get ready to create, develop, execute your exit plan, because nobody's going to come knock on your door and save you. Nobody saved me. I saved myself. That's what you will have to do. Very difficult pill to swallow, but it's real. But when you understand and you interchange or juxtapose the word supply with energy in reference to the narcissist, you will know what I'm talking about. Going forward, as a mental exercise, perhaps for the rest of this video or for the rest of the day or maybe over the weekend, try to change the word supply to energy. That's what it is. The narcissist was draining your energy. The narcissist was stealing your energy. The narcissist didn't want you to ever break the trauma bond. They didn't want you to heal. They didn't want to see behind the mask. They didn't want you to put 2 and 2 together. The narcissist wanted to have access to you exclusively, and they didn't want you ever, and I mean ever, having healthy, stable communication with other people. Because if you were to do that, you may have gotten different perspective which may have tipped you off ahead of time, and maybe you would have kicked the narcissist to the curb. And of course, you should know by now, there's no script. This is me free-flowing. If you two were trapped or isolated in a narcissistic relationship, and you two had to heal for 2 years and 2 days, isolated, left for dead during a pandemic all by yourself, you too would be able to free-flow the way I free-flow. Now, having said all these things, and I will get ready to close the video, you need to understand that your energy was the fuel for the narcissist. So I'll give you the car example again. When you own a car, and a lot of cars these days are transitioning to electricity, and if you have a gas-run car, I strongly suggest you look at electricity or solar, because that's the direction it's all going in. And don't shoot the messenger. I'm just speaking the way it is. Having said all those things, when you bought a car in the past, what would happen? You would buy the car and you'd have to top it up with gasoline or with electricity. That is fuel. That is energy. That is supply. Now, transpose or juxtapose or use that analogy with the narcissist. And the narcissist is currently the car. The narcissist, like the car, runs out of energy or fuel or supply. The narcissist, like the car, needs energy, fuel, or supply. The narcissist, like the car, cannot function without it. Think about your car. Say you're on 0 right now. You have no electricity or battery in your car. Is it going to run? Is it going to move? No, it's not going to do anything. It's going to say, well, yeah, sure, I could start up for you if you just plug me in or top me up with gas or electricity, but I can't do it. You have to do it for me. See, there you go, in a nutshell. The narcissist wanted you doing things for them. See, I didn't even realize I just said it till I said it. This is what happens when you're connected. This is what happens when you go with the energy. This is what happens when you kick the narcissist to the curb. And this is what happens when you reach the mountaintop, the pinnacle of indifference, which is where I am standing. And there are so many people standing here with me. You can't see them because currently I'm in the Carolina woods by myself creating this video for you. But all those people are you. They're consuming the content, the content from all different continents on the planet and from every country that has internet. You once were the new supply. I also was that same person. We never met personally, most likely. However, I will tell you right now, the narcissist that you were in the relationship with is cut from the same cloth as the apex predator, the narcissists, plural, that I encountered. They're the same dark energy, and they're looking for a host. You can't be that host. You cannot give supply away, and you need to conserve your energy, which is why you need to really play this video. Play it multiple times. Pay it forward to somebody who can use the wisdom and understand that you, yes, you are the priority. You come first, second, and third, and there's no room in your life now or ever, and certainly not in the future, for toxicity. So this is what happens. The narcissist used your energy as supply. Again, you didn't know what supply was. I didn't either. You knew what energy was, but you didn't think of it the same way you think of it now, just like I didn't. In the old days, pre-narcissistic encounter for me, the word energy to me, it meant two things. One, put energy in your car or pay the electricity bill. Or for me personally, if I was exercising, maybe I was low on energy because I had to recharge my battery because maybe I just ran a marathon or 10 kilometers or whatever. But fast forward, once you get the wisdom, you realize that this whole planet's made of energy, that we're all connected, that you need to control what you can't control, and that it is what the narcissist was looking for from you, your energy. Flip it. Energy is supply. Supply is energy. You need to really play this video. It could be one of the most important videos I've ever created. It will certainly be one of the shortest, but you need to understand something. If where you are right now is where you want to be, stay there. If where you want to be right now is not where you want to be, there is work to be done. But any way you look at it, you need to close the chapter of the book on the narcissist once and for all. These people only get worse, they only deteriorate, and they will blame anybody who gets too close to them. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. And understand a few things. One, your energy is everything. If you don't have energy, you don't have life. Number two, you need to protect your energy. I am referring to this. You should be eating properly, sleeping properly. You should be journaling. You should be exercising. You should be meditating. You should be processing everything you possibly can about that relationship and about toxicity, empathy, and narcissism, mindset, clarity, abundance, growth, future, and the purpose until you don't need to much longer. And when you don't, that means you've gotten all the answers to the questions that you currently have, and maybe other questions will arise in the future, but probably very few of them will, if any at all. And then you need to maintain your boundaries, go no contact. But what you need to understand is your energy is everything. You neglected yourself when you were in the relationship. I did too. You put someone else high on a pedestal to the detriment of yourself. Now we don't do that. Now we put ourselves high on the pedestal. We come first, second, and third, and we block out toxicity. Remember, when you do your part, as I've done my part, then we all get stronger. The collective consciousness gets stronger. And this is another thing I'm going to share with you all, and I'm going to close the video. I've seen it a couple times now on social media. I've used this for years, and I'm grateful to have used it. I think I coined it. If I did, great. If I didn't, I really don't care. I'm just reiterating it for you because it's a very powerful comment, and a lot of people who create memes, I believe, are now listening to the rhetoric that I've been speaking for 5 years, and they're using some of these words, which I think is beautiful. And the expression is this, and it's completely accurate, and no truer words have ever been said. And here we go. You had to lose yourself to find yourself. I will say it again. You had to lose yourself to find yourself, which means this. The narcissist knew who they were before when you met them. They knew who you were as they were meeting you. You didn't know who you were, and you certainly didn't know who they were. Flip it. The relationship is over. You've healed. You now know who they are. And if you've healed and healed properly, you definitely know who you are. Think about the wisdom you've acquired. You've acquired 500 lifetimes worth of wisdom in a short period of time. You may think it's a long period of time, but it's just a blip on the radar if you want the truth. Any way you look at it, you are stronger than you know. You need to control what you can't control, and you need to understand something. Leave the toxic people in the past. They don't change. They never have, and they never will. I love you all. Talk with you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.